Welcome on in, everybody, to the Big Blue Breakdown, episode number 12 here on the podcast. If you guys are listening on podcast, thank you guys so much for listening there and all the support you guys have shown there. Make sure to follow there. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and like. And if you leave a comment, I am more than happy to respond to any of those comments about anything. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening here on the show. Today here on episode 12, it is a hard show to talk about. It's a hard show to go through. But in this one, we're going to be obviously recapping the Vandy game. What is going on? What is going on? Injuries. We're going to look at some positives, and then we will actually be predicting the rest of the schedule for the Kentucky Wildcats. So let's go through the Vandy game itself. Kentucky falls to Vanderbilt Commodores 74-69, a 5-point win for the Doors in this one. To basically go through it, it was definitely a high pace back and forth type of game that Kentucky, I think, it played well into our favor. That was the type of game that we wanted. That's the type of games that we want to play. That's the type of team that we are. High pace, and then they go on a stretch at the end of the first half, like a 24-3 run or something like that, and they're up by 14 at halftime. It was 27-41 at halftime, which is just this loss overall is just unacceptable. Because you are a better team than Vanderbilt Commodores. Shout out to BBN for showing out in this game and almost giving you a home court advantage in this one. Obviously, congrats to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have a really good team, a tournament team, and handled us. Honestly, they handled us. It looked like they wanted it more, which is honestly the sad part of this all. Terrible loss, in my opinion, because going into this game, you really needed this one. You can understand the Alabama loss, right? You can understand that. You can understand losing to a great team like Alabama. I can't sit here and say I understand this loss at all. You're a better team overall, right? You are a better team overall than the Vanderbilt Commodores. Okay, you have to win games like this. This is a middle of the pack type of team. This is a tournament team, yes, but you have to win this. You have to win this game, and forget stats, forget everything. The want to. It seems like in these type of games, it's just not there. In big-time games against big-time teams, it feels like it is there. It is there in those type of games. But against, middle-of-the-pack type of teams like the Ohio States, the Clemsons, the Vanderbilts here, it's just not there. So, I mean, yes, we are going to dive into the stats. Obviously, couple hours before the game, you find out that we're not going to have a big part of our rotation in Andrew Carr, who I think would have really helped us in this one. Obviously, he's dealing with a lower back injury, and we're going to get into injuries in this episode. But not having him obviously sucked. But that is no excuse to have a loss here. No excuse at all to have a loss because you are the better team. You are the better team here. Okay, so, we'll dive into some of these stats here. Let's actually just look at the Vandy stats here. The guy that I really pointed to in my preview show was Jason Edwards, their leading scorer. He had 18 in this game. He had 4 assists, only 1 turnover, only 1 personal foul in this one. He went 2 of 4 from the three-point line, 6 of 11 from the field, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Had an amazing game there. Devin McLaughlin, who I said was, again, a major part of this team. I actually thought his matchup between him and Andrew and Brandon Garrison was going to be massive because I thought we had a really big height advantage, and this guy really plays taller than he is, and he had 14 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, really did everything here. He went 2 of 5 from 3-point line. I believe he banked one in for him. Tyler Nichols here. Tyler Nichols, sorry. 11 points, 3 of 6 from 3-point land, and had another bucket. He went 4 of 7 from the field. AJ Hogarth, 5 points, 4 points for Chris Mignon, I believe is how you say that. Now they had some pretty good bench production. Tyler Tanner, a freshman, I believe, point guard, came into this game and at the end was really giving Lamont problems. We're going to get into his performance and take a look at what he's been dealing with injury-wise. Excuse me. Tyler Tanner had 7 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds himself. Jalen Carey had the best performance coming off the bench with 10 points himself and a steal. And then they got 5 points from MJ Collins. It's still unacceptable. Unacceptable performance here from the Cats. Now, you go down by 14 at halftime. You end up storming back in the second half, going on runs. I think we were on 11-0 run at one point. Got up. We got up by what? I think it was 7 with like under 8 minutes. You got to be able to finish that out right there. So taking a look at our stats here, really nothing impressive except for a couple of guys, right? Again, Otega-Oweh stepping up big, 21 points from him. Now he did, again, have 4 turnovers. You cannot turn over the ball. This team, Vandy, is a very good team at causing turnovers, but the main point of us we turned ourselves over. We hurt ourselves in this one. Now, 4 turnovers from Otega, 6 turnovers from Lamont, and then a pair of turnovers from Amari and Amanor, and then also Brandon Garrison turned the ball over 4 times. 17 turnovers, 10 turnovers in the first half for the Cats. Again, unacceptable. Like, what gets me is you see the wins. You see the wins against Duke, Gonzaga. You see the win at Mississippi State. You see the win against Florida. It's just, we have shown up in the big games, but we have played down to our competition in the games that we should win. There's no excuse to this loss here, right? Again, you can say, yeah, I understand that Alabama loss, right? Great team, probably one of the best teams in the country overall, and a top team in the SEC. And you understand that. I don't understand this. I don't understand the loss. I don't understand the loss against Georgia. It's getting really frustrating against these type of teams. We get up for those big games, man. We get up for those big games. And for games like this, not showing up. Especially in the first half. What is up? Sorry if I'm lagging here, guys. I'm so sorry. If you're watching on YouTube, I think it's a little bit better now. What is up with these terrible starts? It seemed like we kind of got away from that a little bit. What is up with these terrible starts? We have to be better starting games. Gotta be more efficient starting games. We cannot let a team like Vanderbilt, who is a mediocre team, go on a 24-3 run in the first half to end it. You can't come all the way back, be up 7 later in the first half, and lose this ball game. Talking a little bit more about individual performances, right? I thought Lamont played very poorly. Ended up with 6 points. He fouled out, 6 turnovers, 2 assists, and a rebound. I know he's dealing with injuries. I know. All right, I really do know. You cannot turn the ball over 6 times. 6. Now, on the positive side here, I know it's hard to believe there's any positives coming out of this at all, right? Trent Noah, with Andrew Carr being out, with him coming in, the stats may not show it exactly. Trent Noah is pretty daggone good, especially for a freshman, to come into a game that on the road in the SEC against a pretty solid team, a tournament team, and you really haven't played that much this season, and to do what he did, especially on the glass. He got major minutes, 12 minutes this game, 4 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. He had 2 points, a steal. You know, he's going to be big moving forward, because what we heard about from Andrew Carr, it's not great. It's really not great looking for with Andrew Carr, but having a guy like Trent, I think he's a very big bright spot on this team. To me, he's a very lethal shooter. He can get that shot off at 6'6". You've seen him on the boards in this game. He's bigger. He's aggressive, and he didn't shy away from the moment in this one. I very much liked what I seen from Trent Noah. Brandon Garrison played okay, mediocre. You can't turn the ball over 4 times. 4 times. He had 8 points, a block, 5 rebounds. He played okay. You know, Kobe Brea, where's he been? 3 points. He went 1 of 4 from the 3-point line and 1 of 5 from the lane. Excuse me, I was blanking there, right? Come on. Okay. Moving back to some positives here. Jaxson Robinson is shooting very efficient right now. He's definitely playing a lot better. He is putting games together right now. 11 points from him. I think he had 11 points against Alabama as well. I think 4 games in a row he's been in double digits. That is good to see. You know, you're kind of hoping that he has another amazing performance type of game, but it's good to see him consistently knocking down shots now. That is going to be very key moving forward. 11 points from him, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. He went 3 of 5 from 3-point land and 4 of 8 from the field. Obviously, Otega's getting it done right now. He's been our most consistent player. And Amari Williams having another rough game here. 6 points. Didn't play good last game. Only 1 turnover from him. But we got to protect the rim so much better. And we did statistically in this one, but we gave up 12 threes. What is going on defensively? All right, moving on here. Game whatever, okay? Yes, we lost. We are now 10th in the SEC, which is horrific right now. with where we want to be, top 4 by the end of the regular season here, to get a bye in the SEC tournament. Okay, what is going on? Okay, what is going on defensively, especially? You give up 74 points. That's not that bad. Okay, obviously you score 69. Giving up 74 points on the road is not terrible. It's really not. But you give up 12 threes. This year we have been pretty good at not giving up threes. What is going on, though? It feels like once we correct something, once we feel like we've done better at something, something else comes along, and it's just killing us. Killing us. I don't get it. I'm going to move on to some team stats here. Kentucky shot the ball. We shot 60% in the second half, guys, and we lost. I think that's a major factor from what we were coming from. We got up, and then we let off the gas. It seemed like they wanted it more, and that's a problem. And that is a major problem. Major. Kentucky shot almost 50% from the field in this game. We hit 9 threes. They hit 12 threes. That was probably the difference in this game. That and turning the ball over. We seemed like we were folding under pressure. Lamont was folding under pressure with the ball in his hands. A guy that stepped up in this one with the ball in his hands was Otega-Oweh. That is big to see moving forward. I know there's not many positives coming from this. Otega-Oweh is that he's a big piece, guys. His ability to drive to the basket, which we don't really have on this team, is huge because he can take it in there. He can get fouled. He takes it in there, and he can play through contact. He's a really good finisher. He can knock down a mid-range pull-up, and here and there he can knock down a three. He's probably our best player right now. I forgot to mention one guy here, Ansley Almanor, coming along. So you have 3 guys right now really, really playing very well. Ansley Almanor, Otega-Oweh, and Jaxson Robinson, right? Otega-Oweh being the best out of those 3 right now. Ansley Almanor stepping into a big role with Andrew Carr being out probably for a couple weeks. So I'm going to get to that here in just a second. He was able to knock down some threes. In this one, I think he had 12 points, hit some very big threes. Loving what I'm seeing from Ansley. Loving what I'm seeing from Otega. Loving what I'm seeing from Jaxson right now. To me, what has to step up is Lamont can't turn the ball over, and we got to protect the rim better. They made 12 threes. That just can't happen. I don't know what is going on right there, okay? Defensively, it seemed like statistically we played a lot better defensively in this game than we have in a while, except for the Texas A&M game. Playing amazing defensively there. I think the 1-2 from Brandon and Amari has to be there more. We out-rebounded them in this one, right? 40. We out-rebounded them by 13 rebounds in this game. Okay? So the difference in this one was what? 13 threes from Vanderbilt, and us turning the ball over 17 times. Other than that, you look at this here. They beat us. Yes, they had 12 3-pointers. Yeah. They shot better from 3 than we did, but we shot better from the field. We shot better from the line, 8 of 13 for their 4 of 11. They went 4 of 11 from the charity strike, and we couldn't win. You know, it's frustrating right now. It is. They shot 36% from the free throw line. You out-rebound them by 13. A big one here for me is they had 10 more assists than you did, which is unbelievable because you are such a great assist team. Can't have that happen there. They had 10 steals. You only had 4, right? They had 5 total turnovers. So the main point in this one, they hit more threes, and they turned you over, 12 more times than you turned them over, right? Insane. It's just disappointing. Because you see the wins. You see the major wins for the Cats. You see them. it's taking care of these teams like this. Yes, this would have been a quad one win. It's not necessarily a bad loss, but it's putting us in a really tough position moving forward. This was a must win. It really was. We're now 14-5 and 3-3 in conference play. I need a water break here. I'm sorry. All this yelling and stuff. All right. Moving on here. I've got everything out here from this game. Okay. Injuries. We can say not having Andrew Carr lost us this game. That's not true. Having Andrew Carr missing from this game is a big point because having him it's major. He gives you 10 or 12 more points, probably more rebounds than Ansley does, but he brings size to going against a undersized team. Obviously, you don't have him. Sounds like he'll be out for a couple weeks, which is going to mean a lot coming again Tuesday, going against a awfully competitive, physical, one of the best teams in the country in Tennessee, who just took the best team in the country on the road to the wire and probably should have won if they didn't leave a person wide open in the corner for basically a game-winning three. Lamont Butler has been getting beat up. Excuse me. Yes, he did play poorly, but I feel bad because he's playing through he's injured, guys. He's playing through an injury. He's playing through that. We got to get him back 100%. Kirk Risa, I believe, is slowly getting better. He don't have the boot on anymore, which is good. Andrew Carr, not going to be having Andrew Carr is going to suck. Hopefully, I think Pope said days thing, but I think he meant weeks. So, not quite sure exactly what that is. I'm expecting it to be weeks. Obviously, it'd be big to have him back. He hasn't practiced in 2 weeks. He's been focusing all that time on recovery. So, they want to get him practicing for a little bit. So when he jumps back into playing, it won't be like back to square one once he gets hit a couple times. Lamont Butler, got to get him healthy. Positives. The positives are, excuse me for my mic there. The positives here are that the Cats are going to have a lot. They're going to have 12 more opportunities to win games. But 8 of them to be quad 1 wins, I believe. 8 of them, I think. 8 of them to be quad 1 wins. And 3 of them going, actually 4 of them going to be going up against possibly 4 of the best teams in the country. The opportunities are going to be there. Another positive here is that Ortega's playing amazing. He's been stepping up. Jackson Robinson has been playing amazing. His shooting efficiency has been there. You're getting big-time minutes from Ansley, and Trent Noah is a positive sign here to step in and fill some big minutes and big-time opportunities. And he's shown that he can do it. He brings a lot of energy and what we kind of been lacking on the glass and defensively. He's going to play hard. He is a very, very capable three-point shooter, and he looks like he gels with them really good out there. I basically went through the negatives this entire thing, so the negative, obviously, here is you have a tough schedule to bounce back from a loss like this. But you have a schedule where if you get on a hot streak, that means you're beating some of the best teams in the country, right? That's the positives. You got Ansley playing good, Ortega's playing good, Jackson's playing efficient. I guess the positive you can say here is Kobe Bryant is due for a big game. Kobe Bryant is due for a seven threes made in a game. That's the positives. So, with all that being said, I will predict the rest of Kentucky's schedule. Obviously, taking into fact that Andrew Carr probably going to be out for a couple weeks. Taking in fact that we are dealing with injuries. Ultra realistic prediction here. To me. Okay. All right. So this will be the last portion of this episode. Thank you guys again so much for joining in here to episode number 12 here on the Big Blue Breakdown. Please subscribe, like, comment, and follow if you guys are listening on podcasts. Okay, continuing on here. Kentucky takes their second L in a row, which hasn't happened all season. Doesn't get any easier, guys. Doesn't get any easier at all. At all. You go on the road. I'm going to predict all these games, by the way. So let's just start off by the next game here. By the way, I will have a preview and prediction episode out tomorrow again for the game against Tennessee. This is probably going to spoil my pick. At Tennessee, as much as I say that I want us to win, I think realistically this is a loss. Because they are such a good team, and it's a bad matchup for us. We're also dealing with injuries, and we've not been playing well. The positives is that we're desperate for a win, and I feel like this team is very good when we're desperate for a win, and we just came off a loss. They just came off a super physical game against Auburn. They could be worn down, beat down a little bit, and it'll be tough playing us. But with all those things, there are equally negative things. Probably a lot more. Okay. L there. So that would make us 3-4 in SEC play going in Arkansas. I think we beat Arkansas I know there's going to be a lot of emotions going into that game, especially for the crowd. Arkansas is just not a good team at all. And except for the loss against Alabama at home, we have taken care of our business at home. I think we will against a quad 2 team like Arkansas, who probably won't make the tournament, who only has one win in SEC play, and has lost to some bad teams. So Arkansas being that one right there, I think we win that one. That would make us 4-4 in SEC play. At Ole Miss, I think that's probably a loss. They're very much built like a Tennessee, where they are ultra physical, very good defensive team. And on the road, probably say that's a loss. So 4-5 in SEC play there. South Carolina, who's probably is the worst team in the SEC, but has been very, very competitive with really good teams in the SEC so far. Florida barely scraping by them on a last minute buzzer beater layup. Auburn beating them by 3, I believe. Lost to a good Mississippi State team by 5. And lost to Vanderbilt, I believe, by 2. I see us winning that one just because their lack of ability to close out games. I think we got the talent advantage. I think we got this game at home. I think we beat the South Carolina Gamecocks to make us. Did I just say we had lost to Ole Miss? 4-5, 5-5 in SEC play. Tennessee at home. I think that we would beat Tennessee at home. Again, you'll see a consistent pick here with games at home. I really like our shots, except for the Alabama game, obviously. even though this is not a great matchup for us, we'll get a feel for them. Obviously, after playing them not too long ago, play Tennessee here. I think we win just because this game at home. At Texas, now they just beat Texas A&M. I actually do think we will win this game because they're kind of like an Arkansas team to me that has won that one more game. Now they beat Oklahoma. No, that has won the games that they should. They beat Missouri at home. They beat Texas A&M at home after a major comeback, and they beat a bad Oklahoma team on the road. I think we win this one because I just think we're a better team than they are. I know this place is going to be rocking, but I really like our shot to beat Texas. Vandy at home, I like that win right there. Home, you see what we just did. We couldn't have played worse in the first half. As bad I just talked about us, I think at home we should win that game. So that would make us what? I just said after that, so it'd be 5-5, 6-5, 75, 8-5, 8-5 in SEC play. That would be a pretty good. That'd be pretty good three game win streak right there, which I think is very obtainable. Make us 8-5, and then we go to Alabama, which is gonna be so tough to play at. They already beat us at home. I think we lose that game just because their overall talent and game on the road, right, in the SEC play. 8-6 at Oklahoma. I do think we win that one. I do think that we win the Oklahoma game there, making us 9-6. I just don't think they're. I think they probably are the third worst team in the SEC, just because they beat Arkansas. I just don't think they're a good team. Been on a downhill track and in a rough SEC play at Oklahoma. I do think we win that one even on the road. That would make us 9-6 in SEC play. We get Auburn at home, best team in the country. This is the one that I think we get that big upset. 10-6 in SEC play. Just because this game's at home, I think we will be up for this game, and I think we somehow pull us out even with it being a bad matchup. I do think we beat LSU at home, who is LSU is pretty daggone bad too. I mean, they're in the bottom of the SEC. I mean, they beat Arkansas. I think we win that one. But I do think we lose to the end of the season at Missouri. It's a tough place to play. They got a tremendous team this year. I like this Missouri team, and I think that they will beat us, especially because it's on the road. That's kind of like my realistic thing right there. You could obviously change a lot of these games, but I think, in my opinion, this isn't unrealistic at all. I think we can beat Auburn. If I would change one, obviously it'd be the Auburn one. I think we can beat Auburn at home, and I think we will, just because that game coming in at home right now. So right now, as of now, going throughout, I would have us finishing the year. What would that be? So 9. So 10. 10-7. 10-8. 10-8. I think we somehow get to 10 wins in the SEC play. I don't know what that would make us in SEC play, SEC tournament overall. I think 10-8 is very realistic. I also believe in 9-9, but even with that, I think we still have a pretty good seed in the SEC in the NCAA tournament. And I don't know if it'd be a top 4 in the SEC. Probably 5th. That's my ultra realistic right there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in here. I know this was a negative episode, but hopefully we can get on track with a desperate type of win over Tennessee. This is episode 12 of the Big Blue Breakdown. Make sure to go check us out on social media at BigBlue_Breakdown on TikTok, X, and Instagram, posting on there regularly. Thank you guys so much for joining in here to the Big Blue Breakdown, episode 12. And as always, go Cats, and see you guys tomorrow.